Hey, this is Anthony from Rocket Prince, and thanks for watching my evening chat one-on-one with you, talking about how to start an entrepreneur business or a side hustle. So if you're sitting in the back and you're curious to know what it takes to start an entrepreneur business or a side hustle, well, if you watched my last videos, I share my story, my journey, how I started, and what motivated me to finally cross that line to get me where I'm at today. What got me there was really all about taking ownership. Okay? If it wasn't for that, I would not be here today. So one day I was at the mall and I saw two people heat pressing t-shirts. Okay? I was in line. I was actually in their line making them money. Okay. But in return, they were giving me something that I wanted. All right. I saw the potential. I even went back maybe a month later or something like that. I can't remember. It was so long. But I went back and I studied what they had. The machines that they had wasn't really that expensive. But here's the difference between them and me where I was that day. I had a passion to become an entrepreneur. I wasn't seeking it that day. I was just at the mall enjoying time with my family. Okay. But when I saw that, it piqued my interest. And I said, man, this is something I want to do. It was something I wanted to do. Okay. So what I ended up doing, I found out that the equipment they had wasn't that expensive. I went and bought them. Okay. I took ownership of my fear. All right. I was scared. I had $400 and I was debating whether I was going to spend the money with my family or I was going to spend the money on this opportunity. And I knew that if I didn't take advantage of this money, I wasn't going to have this money again. Okay. I was going to have to wait a whole 6 months or a whole year to get this money because I had a budget at home. All right. I paid my bills and we had X amount of money. And that's the money that we used. Okay. Buy food, buy groceries. And then, we had entertainment money. All right. Which wasn't a whole lot. Okay. But on that particular day, I had $400 extra. And I took ownership. Didn't realize what I was doing at that time. Now I understand what I did. There's a name behind it, and it was taking ownership. Okay? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. If you're scared, I understand. I was scared too. Okay? And I'm sure everybody that you see that are in the entrepreneur business right now, I'm sure they were scared too. It's a big decision, right? It's a big decision. You're thinking about what if I spend this money and then I fail? Then what? Now everybody's just going to see that I was just a dreamer. Okay? And that sucks. That sucks because you got to think about those people thinking about you, right? But what I want to tell you is that you have to get in the mindset to say, I don't care about those people. I don't care what anybody thinks. You have to believe in yourself. You have to take ownership of yourself. Okay? And I understand it's hard because it was hard for me, especially being around people who don't have the same views and same thought process as you. And when you tell somebody something that you want to do, they shoot it down right away. And they say, oh, you know what? Why waste your time? I had a lot of that going on with me. Okay. And the people that I was hanging around with, I had a lot of that. And I think maybe if I was around more people that were positive, those people would have uplifted me and said, you know what? Give it a shot. Do it. Give it a try. If you fail, so what? Get back up, man. You need some help? I'll help you. If I had those people around me, maybe I would have started a lot sooner. But unfortunately, it finally took me to invest in myself. And when I finally did it, I was in a different situation. I was in a different world. And I didn't want to go back to the other world that I was currently living in. All right. Now I had this heat press in my house, and I didn't know where to put it. You know, where's this thing going to go? In my garage, it's too freaking hot. I lived in Texas. Okay. It was too hot. It's too hot to be in my garage. So I had an extra room and I put it there. And that's where I started. That's where Rockin' Prince came about. Okay. I didn't have the name yet, but that's where it started. Okay. And I started learning from there. But what I'm trying to tell you is I took ownership. All right. And when I had that heat press, I spent that money. You know, people were telling me, you know, they're like, what the heck is this? What did you buy? You know, everybody's curiosity was giving me that look. All right. And now because I spent that money and I had this thing in my house, now I knew I had to fulfill this. This was not, there's no way I could return this thing. I can't return it no more. I have this thing in my house. And now I got to start figuring this out, and I have to start executing. Okay? So when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you start to act. All right? Now I was obligated to take ownership of my responsibility to get this thing making money for me. Because back in those days, I spent $400. That was a lot of money for my family just to go blow it, you know? But back then, what made me feel bad was time, family, value. Okay? Spending the $400 on my family made me feel bad that I spent it on this heat press. Okay? But at the time, I didn't know the potential of this heat press. I saw the potential at the mall, but I didn't know the potential, what it was going to do for me. Okay? And here I am today on a YouTube channel talking to you all because it all started from that heat press. Okay? Because I took ownership of something that I really wanted. I had a passion for. It wasn't I had a passion for the heat press. I had a passion to become an entrepreneur. I had a passion of doing something for myself. All right? I went on YouTube and I started learning heat pressing. I started paying attention and I watched video after video after video. Every day I come home from work, I watch videos, and I learned and learned and learned. And I started getting better. And I was still scared. Let me just stop real quick. I was still scared. Even though I finally got somewhat good how to heat press a t-shirt and how to heat press a design that I created by myself, I was still scared to go talk to people, to go try to sell my design. I was still scared. Okay? So, yes, it takes that momentum to get you started, but it also takes that momentum to start selling, because now you're in a world where you got to be the worker bee, you got to be the designer, and then now you got to be the salesman. Okay? And then you have to be the businessman or business lady. Okay? You have to be them. And that was scary by itself. I have to learn all those things. Now, I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just telling you, this is what it takes to be an entrepreneur. All this stuff is going to come because I tell you what, I didn't know how to do this. And when I learned how to do it, I was in an uncomfortable situation and I took action and I learned a skill. And as I learned the skill, I knew what was next. Now what was next was to go out and go sell myself. Okay? How I overcame that fear is I went to friends. I went to family. Okay? And I got a true reaction from them because they're my friends and they're my family. And they're going to tell me what they really like. They're going to give me ideas. And that's what they did. And that's what they will do for you. And then once I realized that it wasn't that scary, it honestly, it didn't even faze me. Next thing I knew, I was telling everybody what I was doing. I didn't even have that fear anymore. I didn't even think about it anymore. It just kind of like went into the situation. It just helped me get there. Okay? Those things will come naturally. They will. You'll eventually gain that skill level, and it will come naturally because you're developing your skill to get you there. Okay? And that is taking ownership of your dream. All right? If you don't take ownership of your dream, it's not going to happen for you. All right? But the day you start taking ownership, it will happen. Take action. Spend the time educating yourself. You don't have to go to school. There's a lot of free content on there. Now, sometimes I get it. You're going to have to watch a whole hour video for that person to drop those nuggets. Okay? Then you got a pen and paper. Start jotting them down because that's when you're going to really learn. Take what you learned from that person and go use that skill to your benefit to get you stronger and get you smarter with your skill set. Okay? That's taking ownership. And then before you know it, what you're doing every day is going to be like repetition. Okay? Because you've already developed that and you're going to want to say, what's next? And then you have the opportunity to jump into that what's next. Okay? So take ownership of what you're doing. And if you're really, really busy, start making a timeline for yourself and start writing okay, this is what I do when I wake up. From the morning to the midday to the nighttime, write your timeline, what you do. At the very end of that, you're going to realize that you have a lot of downtime. Within that downtime, go learn something on YouTube. Learn some free content. Spend an hour a day, or if you only have 15 minutes, spend 15 minutes of good quality time. Save one video and watch the first 15 minutes. The next day you have it, watch the next 15 minutes. You have to take ownership in order for you to get better so you can thrive on your entrepreneurship. So it takes work. It doesn't mean that you have to go do physical work. It takes mental work. All right? And mental work is going to get you there. And before you know it, you're going to be in your entrepreneur business, and you might be on a YouTube video talking about how you did it just like me. All right? To help those who are seeking entrepreneurship themselves. All right? And that's what I'm trying to do, because I want to share my story with you because I know where I was, and I was scared. All right? And still to this day, I am scared. Maybe not as much as I used to be, but I do still get scared of things, things that I do with my business. All right? And I'm still trying to overcome those fears. But guess how I'm doing it? I'm still going on free content. I'm still going on YouTube, and I'm still learning. All right? So remember, it's all about taking ownership today to get you to where you need to be tomorrow. Okay? So I hope this video helped you out. Thanks again for watching. And also, I would love to hear your feedback of what you're doing for your entrepreneurship or your side hustle today to share with the audience. Please drop a comment and let me know what's going on with your business today. All right? And like I said before in my last videos, what inspires you today might inspire others with your comment. Somebody just might bypass this video and focus on your comment. So please share, because it will do good for the world and for that one person who's really, really needing to hear that from you. Okay, so thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys back on my next video chat one-on-one with you. Thanks again, and peace.